So today we are here at the SPJMR campus in Mumbai. So today we'll be talking to a few of their students from first year and second year. So let's see what their life at SPJMR looks like.
So we don't have any power, we don't have any authority as such, but we have to get the work done.
What is your experience in these 2 months like?
Many subjects that I've never studied or I've never received an opportunity to go through them. I'm almost learning all of them for the first time.
Very recently I had the chance to do an improv performance on stage, and that is something I never imagined myself doing, being a slightly shy and reserved person.
So did you face any challenges like coming from a BSc background? Like
It is something that anybody can do from any stream, irrespective of where they come from.
from past 2 years, how was your life at the institute?
I think it was reinforced time and time again that academics are a really big part from the institute.
How were summer internships for you? Like
First an experience of how the corporate world post MBA would look like.
which committee are you part of and what exposure are you getting through that?
In the first year, I was a part of our language committee wherein we basically hosted the International Language Day for the first time in SP so that we are better prepared for international exchange also.
And welcome to the B School Insider series. We'll quickly like to know about your journey at SPJMR, and we'll like you to introduce yourself, like your year of study or year of specialization, and how did your journey started with SPJMR?
Hi, I'm Radhika. Prior to joining SPJMR, I used to work for 4 years in digital marketing and performance marketing across B2B and D2C startups. After joining SPJMR, I am specializing in marketing and minor in finance, and I interned with ITC during my summer internship.
So I'm Anushka Dikshit. I am a computer science engineer from VIT Vellore, and I did a brief internship at Amazon before this, and post that I gave my CAT and came here. Here I interned with Colgate during summers.
I'm Basit Moin Shahid and I'm currently majoring in finance here at SPJMR. Prior to this, I did my bachelor's in science in economics, graduated with an honors degree there. From St. Xavier's College in Kolkata, and during my UG days meddled a lot with consulting clubs and had a social media agency of my own.
So, Anushka, you had mentioned that you are a fresher, right? And SPJMR is mainly known for its profile-based calls. So, how was your experience and what was the process?
So there are 2 types of calls that we get. The initial round is profile calls, and post that there are profile come score based calls. So I got a profile come score based, and the major difference is that there are some profiles which need to be boosted a little bit by their CAT score. So I got a 98.6 percentile, and which is what I think helped me get that score.
Right. So, did you face any challenges like coming from a BSc background, like from IT background and getting into marketing? So, did you face any challenges while answering the interview questions and any such?
Yeah, I mean, coming from BTech, the first question that everybody asks is that if you are an engineer, then why do you want to do MBA, and that too in marketing? I knew that marketing was something which requires a open mind, and it is something that anybody can do from any stream, irrespective of where they come from. It's a very open field in that sense. So I knew that I could succeed in marketing, and it is what aligned with my interest. So I was able to convince the same to the professors who took my interview, and here I am.
That's great. So Radhika, coming to you, you are an experienced professional like prior to joining SPJMR. So was your journey with the interview process easier than what Anushka had?
I think interview process was pretty much the same. Maybe the question directed to me were a little different. But I think throughout my UG, I did mathematics honors from Shri Venkateshwara College, Delhi University. So there I was very much into extracurriculars. Like I was the PR and sponsorship head of our NSS. I was a part of the placement cell. So I think all these activities helped me boost my profile, and then my 4 years of work ex, which was in digital marketing and performance marketing. I think that was a booster for me. So I got a profile based call, and then during interview process, the only tip that I got and that I had with me was that you just be yourself. So you understand why you are here, what are you trying to do. If you have answers to these two questions and you have clarity on what you have done so far, you'll ace the interviews. I think those sort of questions, because I had clarity on why am I doing my MBA, that helped me out and that made my interview process very smoothly.
I want to know, like, how did you start your career? Like, from past 2 years, how was your life at the institute and starting from the inductions? Like,
The first few weeks of any premier tier 1B school are spent in figuring out what does the institute require from your side and what are you expecting from the institute. Ideally, if you figure that out, then the journey becomes really easy. You have an expectation set on each end, and you know what you're there for. And the institute also knows that what kind of students have come in this batch. So I think a lot of the effort in the initial few weeks were spent in figuring out what kind of institute we are in, what does the institute focus on, and what should we try to gather from the institute. And I think it was reinforced time and time again that academics are a really big part from the institute. So our faculty indulges in a wide variety of research fields that they are primarily here for. So we'll see a lot of newsletters that come our way that highlight this professor has been doing research in this field and their paper has been published in so and so journal. So that's really inspiring to see. And that was the kind of drive that we were exposed to in the initial few weeks. After that, the courses introduced in the first term or the first 2 or 3 terms are designed in such a way that you have to really gauge what you like and don't like. So one thing that differentiates SP from others is that you have your major chosen prior to joining. So as they've already chosen marketing and I had chosen finance, that may be caused by whatever experiences we might have had in the past and whatever perception of that field we do have. And of course, interactions with seniors, figuring out how they felt like in their first few weeks, that was really important. But all in all, the energy that was driven to us in like the initial few weeks itself was that there should be conscious effort from your side. As what I mean to say is that anyone can produce 2 years worth of curriculum and send out a whole army of graduates. You have to figure out for yourself that is the direction really chosen by you or not. So you have to take a conscious call on that. And I think the dean, the faculty, everyone involved in the entire ecosystem at our college really reinforces that fact. There has to be some conscious effort from your side.
would you like to add something?
For me, the first year was a whirlwind of I don't know what. You come into the campus and it hits you like a freight train. It's like you have to hit the ground running. And if you don't, if you stop or if you slow down, then it's too fast and you won't be able to catch up.
Okay.
There are a lot of events also happening because at the end, it's a college campus and there are cultural events which happen. And you don't want to miss out on any of that. You want to live your life and you want to make a career and you want to be good at academics. You want to do everything. And to do everything, you have to have a lot of effort that you put in. But there are 100 things going on here and there is something for everyone if you want to be a part.
So do you think like you being a fresher, was your journey more difficult towards the difficulties?
I think it made it easier because there are 25 to 30-year-olds who were really struggling with not being able to sleep. And I was a young person. I could, wake up and
That's a different perspective.
catch up with all-nighters and still be up and running the next day. What was slightly difficult would be dealing with the pressure and the rejection which comes during the summer process. But that is something which SP has a great infrastructure of dealing with, because we as a batch, we are there for each other. I have seen people show up for each other in places where, I mean, I don't even know the person before this, but there is a person sitting beside me because they know that I have an interview going on and I will need support. So that community in SP, that support that I found in SP, it's really great, and it's really nice to know that you can bank on something like that.
So talking about the committees, now every V school have clubs or committees. So what kind of exposure did you get, like joining? Like, of course, you three of you might be in part of some committee, right? So I would really like to know, like, which committee are you part of and what exposure are you getting through that?
I'm not part of any club, but we do have professional development clubs and also cultural clubs. So cultural clubs like dancing, singing, dramatics, all of them are present. And then professional, the PD clubs as we call it, we do have ops club, marketing club, and other clubs as well, like finance club. So in the first year, I was a part of our language committee, wherein we basically hosted the International Language Day for the first time in SP, because we sort of give priority to all sort of development for an individual. Hence, we had a language committee in the first year wherein people were taught the French culture, the German culture, and the Spanish culture. And all of us got exposure to that and the different cultures that are present in those countries, so that we are better prepared for international exchange also, and just better prepared for life, that we know broader perspective on different cultures, because we'll be leading companies which are multinational. So we need to have an exposure to different sort of cultures which are present across the world.
Basit, what committee are you part of?
I was a part of the academic committee. The JD there was that you have to serve as a linkage between what the college is and what the batch is. So basically, whatever deadlines, whatever assignment submissions that the college has required from the batch's side, if that has any sort of deadline misalignment, or any need or want that the batch has from the college's side that needs to be addressed, the academic committee was supposed to serve as a linkage between the program office of the college and the batch, the students. All of the sections had course coordinators or members of the academic committee to facilitate learning and figure out. All of us were mapped to the professors and the sections also. So
like each committee is mapped to
the students inside each committee or inside the academic committee were mapped to one or more subjects, which were to be delivered. Hence, course coordinator. We were mapped to the courses. So what are the needs and wants of the professor if they require any pre-class activity to be done? So the entire essence of this is to have a managerial sort of perspective as to how would it be like managing a large group of people. So you have a section to have alignment with the program office. So how do you manage that? And you have to work in a team as well. So each section would have like 4 or 5 course coordinators. So you have to work within yourselves and see that if the request of the batch is worth putting forward, or are they just being greedy at this point? So that the line had to be drawn. And apart from that, making friends along the way. So the entire committee serves as a way for you in the first year to basically understand what is everyone else's background and what are so not to be the devil's advocate, but what is the mindset of the college if they set certain deadlines or set certain expectations? Why are they important? So you have to communicate to the batch that see the vision of the college as well. So the balance between that, maintaining a balance, is what I think the first year committees are for.
What they want us to understand is how do you influence without power. So we don't have any power, we don't have any authority as such, but we have to get the work done. And that is very true in workplaces as well, that you do not have a lot of power over a lot of individuals. Somebody might have a lot more experience than you do, but you still have to get to work with them. So how do you do that? So that's the idea behind that. For instance, I was a part of DOCC and Sustainability Committee. And in the second year, we have professional development clubs. For instance, I'm a part of placement preparation cell. So now I am responsible for making sure that my juniors and my batch are prepared for placements and for sitting in the placement process and so on.
So I just also want to understand, like, what is your advice for the future aspirants who are looking forward to join SPJMR? And
So I think two advices. One would be to come with an open mind and come prepared that the first year especially would be very, very rigorous. So open mind, why? Because you'll be exposed to a lot of things, a lot of courses. You might be from a certain domain, or you might be a fresher. So that sort of exposure will need you to have an open mind and to learn, to get the most out of the learnings that you have. It is very essential for you to come that way.
Basit?
So take time to reflect and be open to the fact that it may be different from what you imagined. If you look at it and break down every aspect of an MBA, so group assignments, your summer internship, your college buddies, your friends, mentors, seniors, you're not paying for all of them in isolation. You're paying for a system to help you grow and develop, and that growth will only happen if you make an active effort to let yourself have it.
100%. Anushka?
I will give a very practical advice. The life that you live at an MBA college is your own, and nobody else can figure it out for you. You have to come here and figure it out for yourself. And the second is going to be, take it one day at a time. There are times when it gets very overwhelming. There are times when you don't know what the next 10 days, the next 15 days are going to look like. You can only think of what is my end of day going to look like. So let it be the end of the day. Just wake up, know what you're going to do that day, and just go to sleep. And then you wake up again, and then you begin again. You take it one day at a time, and suddenly it will be 15 lifetimes that you would have lived in a span of these 2 years. So, yeah.
Can you please introduce one by one yourself?
So my name is Rajit. I come from Dhanbad, Jharkhand, and after that I joined Birla Institute of Technology, Mishra, where I pursued mechanical engineering, and after that I joined PwC India as an SAP technical consultant, where I worked for 3 years in SAP.
My name is Dhun. I come from a rather unconventional background. I come from journalism and mass communication. That is what I've pursued. I'm a fresher. So yeah, it's directly after undergrad that I'm here.
And my name is Amartya, and I did my BSc in Economics, Maths and Statistics from St. Joseph's College. And I come with little over 2 years of work experience. And my latest stint, I served as a brand manager at a young startup.
So how is it? Like, what is your experience in these 2 months? Like, is it like matching your expectations? Like, what mindset did you come here with, and how is it really so far?
Okay, so I came here with a very open mindset, and to be very honest, coming from a journalism and mass communication background, it was a big shift for me. But on the contrary, what I feel is there's a lot of value add that has happened to my knowledge when it comes to SPJM, because many subjects that I've never studied or I've never received an opportunity to go through them, I'm almost learning all of them for the first time. So yes, sometimes it does become a little intimidating, but overall it is like something that the incremental knowledge that I've had here is something that I'm really happy about.
I myself entered with a very open mind, and MBA, the first trimester is infamous for being very rigorous, and yes, we all have been feeling the rigor, but we also have been giving our best. We've had the chance to experience things we've never done before. For example, very recently I had the chance to do an improv performance on stage, and that is something I never imagined myself doing, being a slightly shy and reserved person. So having a lot of fun, exploring new things, and enjoying the journey.
Okay, so when you get your free time, like, it's your first year, your fresh minds coming, and, you're just exploring the college till now. So what do you do in your free time? Like, what facilities do you use of college and everything? Suroji?
So it would be, for me, it would be gym, and there is also a squash track for it. And we also like hang out in cafeteria, and so that's how I do it.
Good.
So I think the campus is lush green. So you have a lake here within the campus. So I'd like to take a walk around that place in my free time along with friends if possible. And we have the rec center. So recently we went to play table tennis and air hockey in these games. So I think the little amount of free time that we get, I'd like to spend it at these places.
Great. Amar?
I love to play sports too, so a lot of my time is spent in the rec center playing table tennis and air hockey, as Dhun said. And otherwise, so we all are participating in a lot of case comps, which are not really mandatory, but again, a good way to bond with people and work on stuff. So a lot of my free time gets dedicated towards that as well.
So currently you're in first year, so you might have so many questions in your mind, like what to do, where to do, and how to do it. So seniors are the best help that you can get. So just wanted to know like how seniors have helped you so far.
Yeah, so for me, yes, I was very clueless when I came in first. One thing that I'd like to specify is seniors have been there like from day one, and the unique mapping system, the buddy mapping system for almost everything, we have a buddy map to us, which is a P2 buddy, a senior of us. So if you have something a spec related query, you know that this senior is from your spec, and you can go and talk to that person. If you have generic queries, you have another person a buddy map to. So then that system I think is very well established here, and the feedbacks that we give they received very well, and we see changes happening. So I think that is one way the seniors have always been around and been very approachable and helpful in these at least the 2 months that we've
Amrita,
spent
will you
here.
like to add something?
Sure. So, I mean, seniors have been nothing but helpful, as Dhun said. And I mean, I think collaborative is one of the most defining features of the program at SP. So, with regards to interview prep or even beyond the curriculum, if we are having any apprehensions regarding whether we are going in the right direction, seniors have been very open to coming out and helping us. So, we had a very pleasant time interacting with all of them.
That's great. So, what is the advice that you would like to give for the future aspirants, like who have SPJN as their dream college and will like to join in future? So, Surajit.
Prepare well for CAT exam and for more focus on GD and PIs because they are make or break for a little bit.
So I think the generic what stays. You have your CAT, your GDs and PIs. But if you're targeting SP, I think you need to know yourself very well.
True.
You need to be very grounded in your values and ethics, because that is something that SP really values. So when you're coming here, come with a very firm mindset of who you are, what you want to put to the table, and stay true to yourself when SP is the goal. So I think that is something I would like to advise the future aspirants.
You being from a second year, so we'd really like to know about your background and your journey at the institute. So can you walk us through your background first?
Sure. So firstly, before joining SPJIMR, I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from Father Agnes Institute, Vashi. Right. Post that, I was placed at Godrej and Boyce in the appliances division, where I worked for 2.5 years as an assistant manager in the service department.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, like you being from the second year, so we'll really have an interest for the, even future aspirants who really like to know, like, how was your first year when you really joined SPJN?
Sure. So when I joined SPJMR, I was actually, I'm from the operational and supply chain management cohort. But contrary to the opinion that most people have that in SPJN your specialization starts from the first year itself, that's not the case. So we had a very generic education when it comes to the first year. We learned the basic management studies concepts such as economics, statistics, and even operations. And then just before our internships, we have a trimester system here. So just before our internships in term 3, that is when we, sort of forayed into our specialization subjects basis on where we were placed in our internships.
Oh, okay. And how is the teaching methodology? Like you coming from supply chain, as you mentioned. So how is the teaching methodology and how does the day at SPJN look like?
Sure. So most cases we have to wake up at 8 o'clock because we usually have quizzes at 8. Post that by 9 our lectures start. That can go on till maybe 3:40 or 6:40, depends on your schedule. As far as the classroom experience is concerned, we have a lot of case-based studies which go on. So pretty much we have to do pre-reads for each subject and each topic before a lecture. And then we actually go into the details of discussing the intricacies of the case on what the decisions were taken, what could have been taken, and what would be the impact if something else was taken, leaving not just evaluating the alternative used currently in the case, but also what could have possibly been done better.
So what would be your, advice to the future aspirants who are looking forward to join SPJN?
Sure. So SPJMR is, as we call it, a socially conscious B school. So we really look for students who have that social aspect to them and who are not just looking at increasing business growth, but there's this concept we call as wise innovation, which our dean has started. We also have this subject in our first term. So we look at the triple bottom line and the 3 P's, which we call it: people, prosperity, and profits. So that is pretty much what we look at SPJMR, and each student who is looking to be an SPJMR needs to inculcate those values and
Right.
come forward here.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time here.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. We'll really like to know your journey at SPJN as you being from second year. So can you please introduce yourself and your background before getting into SPJMR?
Hi, I'm Jamil Shah. By education, I'm an engineer. I completed my engineering in mechanical from NIT Surat in 2019. Post that, I've worked majorly in the manufacturing industry in varied roles from product engineering to operations.
Hi, I'm Shaini Rohani. I graduated from NIT Rourkela in 2021 with a BTech degree in Metallurgical and Material Science Engineering. Currently, I'm pursuing PGDM-BM from SPJIMR and in the second year right now.
Let's get to the second year later on. So I just want to know, how was your first year? Like,
I think it was a very wholesome experience. So before coming to SP, I had doubts about how I'll fit in with a new bunch of folks. But I think the crowd at SP is really, really amazing. They are very supportive in every aspect, and every day is eventful. You'll not go to sleep probably before 2 in the night. So I think the year has been an incredibly lovely journey. And apart from that, I've learned different functional side of business which I was not exposed to in my earlier experience, including finance and ethical side of the business. So it's been a truly learning experience for me.
Shiny, will you like?
So I would say it has been like a roller coaster ride. A lot of things happened in the first term itself. Switching from corporate to again an academic life. It was a little difficult to adapt, but very interesting. Term one was very hectic with academics, placements, everything. From term two and term three, it became like a more enjoyable experience now that we got to understand how we can manage our time better. A lot of programs here at SP also helped develop my personality and help me grow. Great. Yeah.
So talking about the placements, how were summer internships for you? Like,
I was interning at a consulting company, and I think probably the project gave us an opportunity to apply whatever we learned in our first year and also get first-hand experience of how the corporate world post MBA would look like. And it has been again a very steep learning curve for me as well.
For me, I participated a lot in case competitions before even the placement cycle started, and I got in through one of the case competitions. So I did not have to go through the traditional placement cycle as such, because I was placed even before the placement cycle started. During my internship, my project was around a strategy role. So it was very interesting, and the subjects that we learned throughout the first year, they helped a lot in better tackling the problem statement that was provided to.
so Shiny, while you were introducing yourself, you mentioned that you are in a PGDM-BM course, right? And many of them don't really know the difference between PGDM and PGD-BM. So will you like to clear that air for us? Like,
So while there are two programs, PGDM and PGDM-BM, our classes, the professors, the curriculum is mostly the same. The only difference is that PGDM-BM students do 3 strategy courses instead of the specialization courses. So while the PGDM students do 6 specialization courses, PGDM-BM students do 3 strategy courses and 3 specialization courses.
would you like to add?
Yeah, just to add to that point, I think it also gives a flexibility of choosing your specialization after you enter the college.
Like, what transformation did you see in yourself, like specifically and individually?
I think I've never been so open to plunging into things that I've never done before, and being at SP, being in an environment which fosters this in you has been a learning journey for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with Jamil's point. I mean, trying out so many new things in the first year, all of that happened. I mean, I've never done a lot of things that I did here. I'm part of the podcast club in our college, so that is something which is new. I have performed. I've danced on stage. I'm not a dancer at all, but yeah, a lot of new experiences.
So now SPJIMR is like a dream college for many of the new aspirants that are looking forward to get into it. So what would be your advice for them?
Be very truthful to yourself when you are coming to the interview, because SP values what you bring into the table. So be very honest about yourself. I think it also helps you to figure out whether SP is a right match for you or not.
Right.
For me, since I got through the profile-based call, right? So I feel developing your profile early on is also something that helped me personally. So I have been someone who likes volunteering activities, and I developed my profile around that. And I think that was one of the reasons why I got a profile-based shortlist from SP.
That's true. I think I'd like to add it that SP, in my experience, is one of the only colleges which does not reduce you down to a number in your admission process. Rather, it collects detailed information about your profile, your experiences before coming to SP.
I'll tell from my personal experience why SP stood out to me was because of the multiple non-classroom learning programs that they have. For example, the ADMAP program, which is the Managerial and Administrative Development Program. It is a credited course in our curriculum where we work in committees. So every B school might have a lot of clubs that they are working across with, but here it is part of our curriculum where faculty kind of guide us. All of these non-classroom learning
Right.
programs really distinguish SP.
That's really great. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and for removing your time from your hectic schedule and conversating with us. Thank you so much.